Not everyone follows it.
17-year-old Ethan Mackay says not all of his classmates follow public health rules, especially when school lets out.
People are asked to stay in like the certain bubbles that you're assigned with in the classroom with the class that you're in, and people don't do that.
In Quebec, more than 600 schools have at least one case of COVID-19. With the province determined to keep schools open, it's introduced more measures in so-called red zones, including mandatory masks in high school classrooms.
I was diagnosed with ADHD. It's going to be very difficult to like focus on like the work when I'm messing with my mask.
Some say this should have come sooner.
We're up over 1,000 cases per day here, so it's almost like the government is reactive.
All the actions that we are taking today could and should prevent the closing of schools.
In order to have fewer kids in high schools at once, grades 10 and 11 will alternate days in class and at home.
Things are slowly going out of control. It's like the embers of a flame.
With cases rising, this infectious disease specialist says mandatory masks for all students could help, along with everyone adhering strictly to the rules.
We have to think a little bit on the overzealous side when we're trying to implement measures to mitigate the second wave. And I do think that having masks in school at all ages would be, at this moment, perhaps the most prudent thing to consider.
Also in red zones, organized team sports are on hold and gyms will close.
We're doing so much good for a client mentally and physically. It's kind of sad.
The numbers from the past few days show that the situation is still critical.
The Premier says the latest measures are necessary until at least the end of the month. He's also asking Quebecers to download the federal government's COVID alert application, something the province had resisted until now. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.